Good morning. How are you? It's my Saturday. And it is pouring down rain in Indianapolis. Like, pouring down rain. And I am going to meet with somebody today. Do you love how ambiguous I am? I have all these like secret parts of my life, right, that I can't talk about, like parts of my career, and then like my sobriety piece. This is a sobriety thing today, and I can't talk about it. So, but that's just out of respect, you know? When we lose respect, when we lose integrity, we can't get it back. I think sometimes, well, hold on just a second. I'm ordering my coffee. That's the most important part of the day.
Hi there, what are we getting for you?
Can I get a venti cold brew with 2 equal, please?
Venti cold brew, 2 equal. Come on around, man.
All right.
Thank you.
You know, I was reading that Lily Singh book, and she talks about in there that there are certain things that you should keep private. And like when I was reading it the other day, like I really struggled with that. I was like, I show everything on camera. And then I was like, no, I don't really, you know, like there are pieces of like, out of respect for, you know, the 12-step program, I don't talk about any of that. And, like not the intricacies of it because I can't. And I'm not a representative. So, I mean, I'm just a member, if that makes sense. And, so yeah, it's like, I think there are certain things, but like with my family, I'm pretty open with my family and everything else. And so I think it's interesting, like what I pick and choose. And of course, I'm not going to put my clients on here and be like, here's the owner of, you know, ABC Technology, ABC. And, you know, his team is so out of control that we're doing like a team leadership thing. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't obviously do that. Oh. Saturday mornings, it's like almost 1 o'clock. This is like one of the worst times to go through Starbucks ever. Because the line is so long. And Alex is still in bed. And of course, Boo Radley is so terrified of the thunderstorms, he cannot stand. I mean, this line is like not moving at all. Boo Radley, like, as soon as the thunderstorms like start, he can hear the thunder, he like gets on top of me and he starts shaking like crazy. I need to get those thunder coats for him, or thunder jackets or whatever. We're moving. It's like when you're like in traffic jam and you finally get to move. Anyway, I was saying to Alex, because I always invent like languages and voices for the dogs, which you probably know by now. And Alex got laughing so hard because I said, now be nice to Boo Radley, he's verily scared. And Alex goes, verily? I go, yeah, he's verily scared. He goes, what is verily? And I go, verily is how he talks. He adds L's to things because he's verily scared. He doesn't know how to spell very well. He's not a good speller. Oh my Lord, we're moving again. I can't believe it. Do you think people's cars say anything about who they are as people? This car in front of me is a Venza. I don't know what that is. It's not a bad car. It's kind of a station wagon knockoff deal. Do you remember like big station wagons back in the day? Are you my age? That would have the seat that faced backwards, and like when you were like, if you were like 12 and like you're like with your friend, like my mom never had a station wagon because my mom drove, when I was growing up, she drove a Nissan Maxima, and she always wanted a Mercedes or like a Porsche. I'll never forget this. And my mom and my dad and my stepmom got together, and before they were even married, my dad bought my stepmom a Porsche, and my mother was furious. And so anyway, she drove that Nissan Maxima 17 years until it died right over here this parking lot. It just died one day. She called my uncle to come get her, and it was just dead. And then she drove a Saturn after that. But my mother was never anybody that like needed a fancy car. But my dad has always needed really nice cars. I'm kind of like in between. Like, I like nice cars, but I don't need a nice car. And like, I know that today. Like, Alex really wants a Range Rover. He's kind of looking at one, and I'm like, what do you need a Range Rover for? Like, in all seriousness, you know? I'll be right back. I just want to say that I think that Starbucks is like, I don't know if how they train their employees, and I bitched on here one time, but that was because I get such good service at Starbucks, but I don't know how they train their employees. Like, seriously, I have no clue. But Starbucks hasn't figured out when it comes to customer service. Like, they really, really do. They're so friendly, and they are so nice to their customers, especially their customers that come back. Now, listen, I go through there every day, sometimes twice a day. But that group in there today of baristas, I had never seen in my life before. Like, I swear, it looked like, I mean, I didn't know one face in there. And I thought, and I go to the same one every day. People ask me in Indianapolis, to be really honest with you guys, I didn't really realize how many people from Indianapolis watch me. Like, I didn't. So, if you want to know what Starbucks I go to the one at 80th and Keystone. And, I mean, I go to other ones. There's one in Nora that I go to sometimes, but typically this one. Somebody asked me the other day if I go to the one off of Benford and Shadeland sometimes, but typically I go to the one at 80th and Keystone. So anyway, but I looked in there and I didn't know anybody. And I mean, this girl that opened the door, or the window, she looked like deer in the headlights, right? And so she was like, you had the vanilla latte something, right? I was like, no. I said I had the venti iced coffee with 2 equal, or venti cold brew with 2 equal. And she was like, oh, okay. And now this is one thing I have never understood about Starbucks. And I actually talked to the manager about it before because I come in there so often. I felt the need to share that with her. Is that they always put the most untrained person in the window. And, it doesn't make really any sense to me. And I think it's like the one that they think can't make coffee, they put in the window. But it always slows down everything. You would want the person in the window that's the most charismatic, the person that has the most personality, the person, I mean, you don't want your dad in the window, okay? Like, that's just, you don't. So if you own a business, the first point of contact is who you want to have the most charismatic, entertaining person, right? Because that's the first impression somebody's gonna get when they come through your door. That's just basic business. So, and she and I were talking about it one day, and she's like, you know, I had never thought of it that way. And she's such a great manager. Like, she's so friendly. She remembers me when I come through there and all this kind of stuff. And I just think that makes for great business anyway, is that if you come through a business on a regular basis, people remember you. I don't care what the business is. I just think it's nice, you know? And I think people that do remember that should get raises and promotions, because they take a little extra time to do that. So anyway, I go through, oh, that is perfect today too. So I go through there. She goes, vanilla latte, right? And I'm like, no. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm figuring out why this line is so long. And then I start scripting in my head, and I'm like, did every barista like walk out last night and go, we're not taking it anymore? And they all walked out. And so they had to, like, you know, get in like 10 people from different stores to open the store today, because I don't know anybody in there, right? Do you ever do this? Do you ever like script stories in your head? So anyway, she's up there, and the girl had to come help her, and she's like, he didn't have a venti cold brew, or he didn't have a vanilla latte. And she's like, yeah, I'm right on that, don't worry about it. And so, and I'm sitting there, and this is literally what I'm thinking about it as I'm watching this girl like run my debit card. I'm like, I can't like this is like so like crazy, like what's going on, like, because I'm seeing it all through the closed window, right? So finally the girl opens the window, and she goes, I'm so sorry. She's like, I don't know how to run this register. She goes, she had to help me. She was like, she's getting your coffee. She was like, I ran your credit card, or I read your credit card for the wrong thing, so we were canceling it out. That's what she was helping me with. We gave your coffee for free, and we're really sorry that you had to wait. Fantastic. I mean, that is like fantastic customer service, okay? You own your shit, you apologize, and you give the person their drink for free. Like, That takes 2 seconds, right? I just think that that's incredible. And you know what? Like, I looked at her with so much more respect that if I came through there again, I'd be like more likely to tip her and stuff like that, because I'd be like, hey girl, you know, like, she's just trying to get by and do her job. Listen, it's hard for all of us. We all have to start zero and learn, you know? I think a lot of times we don't give people the benefit of the doubt that, you know, it may be their first day. It was funny because Alex and I are like always really friendly. Alex waited tables for years and years and years. We're always super friendly to like waiters when we go in restaurants and like asking questions about themselves and stuff like that. I don't know, that's just who we are. So anyway, there was this guy, Melissa and Jason and Alex and I, we went to Champs one night for dinner, and there was this guy, and he was so funny, and he was our waiter, and you could tell he just did not know what he was doing at all, and that nobody was helping him either. That was the thing, like, nobody was helping him, and he just was fucking up left and right. And so I looked at him, and I go, is today your first day? And he goes, yeah. I said, baby, you need to ask them for a promotion. He was so quick on his toes. He goes, I know. He goes, I'm ready for them to make me a manager. I said, you should. I said, go get me a piece of paper. I said, I'm going to write a letter, and I'm going to say that I think that you need to be the manager. He said, yeah. He's like, I'm going to get all 4 of you to write me that letter. He goes, and when you come back in here the next time, I'm going to be a manager. Okay, so listen. So we come back in there like a month and a half later. This was like a week ago. And he comes up. He's not even our server. And he comes up to us, to Alex and I. He goes, I'm a manager now. And I said, you are not. And he goes, yeah. He goes, they made me a shift manager because so many people quit. And I thought, oh my God, this is so funny. He was so good. He was going around to tables and he was asking them like, hey, how are you doing? Do you need anything? And whatever. And see, like, I think that hard workers deserve perks. I just do. I think, like, you know, there's enough people out there that don't want to work and do the work that we should give those that do want to do the work the jobs, I think, you know? I don't give a shit who they are. That's like why it kills me when you see that like one old white dude sitting on a couch in his living room on the news, you know, smoking 10 packs of cigarettes and drinking a case of beer, bitching about the Mexicans coming into the United States, taking all of our jobs. And I'm like, seriously? You don't even want to work! Let them have the jobs if they want it. Who cares? My God. That kills me. They're always like, yo, they always show them, you know, in these documentaries and stuff. They're like, they're all coming in here taking our jobs. I can't even get a job. I've been on unemployment for 3 years and disability. And I'm like, right, because you're not trying to get a job. But you know, it's too much for me. I don't understand it. This is turning into a rant video slightly. But you know what I mean? Like, I just think it's BS. It's like, if people are hard workers and they want the job, give them the job. That's my 2 cents about it. I have friends of mine that have waited tables literally since I was like 18. And they make, sometimes, some of them make as good of money as I do. My good friend Lori, she makes fantastic money as a server. My God, she makes like professional salary money as a server, but she busts her ass. I mean, her schedule is not pretty, and she always works till 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night, and she's like 10 years older than I am. So, of course, there's not going to be any free parking today. I'm going to have to park. And everybody's coming to Broderable for their brunch today. Did you guys like my little rant that I went on for a second about workers? But I do. I really appreciate hard workers, you know? And people that are intent on giving good service. Because I also know what it's like to be on the receiving end of that, you know? And to be sitting behind that window and everybody coming and complaining about their damn coffee. And you're like, seriously, I just want to take this coffee and throw it at the window at you. You know, like, seriously, if one more person complains that they didn't get their coffee the way that they wanted to get it, I'm done. This store right here is so cute. It's called The Shop, and it's all t-shirts, and it's like local t-shirts. They have like vintage Indy 500 t-shirts, and I'm just not in shape enough to wear those t-shirts, or I would get one. I hate that when they say vintage fit. That basically means for skinny people. Please be a parking space. No, 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 no. Not one parking space. Oh, this guy really truly took the last parking space. I have to text my friend. I am literally 10 minutes behind. I had texted them and said I was going to be 10 minutes late, so guess what? I said it and I am. I'm afraid if I go all the way up, see, they have it like cordoned off. You can't get in there. There's like legit no place to park today. This is ridiculous. Waffle has such cute stores. It's like the artsy area of Indianapolis. My mom went to Waffle High School, and so when I was a little kid, we would come here. There was like Peaches Records, and there was all these like vintage clothing stores and all these punk rocker stores, and we would like walk through here, and my mom would like go to Peaches Records. Peaches Records was this record store that had all the albums like in Peaches crates, and I think she's frustrated with me, but I'm like, don't get out of your car until I've parked, because, and I'm stuck in total parking traffic because it's raining and I don't know if the building is open, so. But anyway, we would go and buy record albums at Peaches, and is there any parking spaces open up down there? I'm gonna be pissed if I drive by here and there's one open. Nope. And, we did all kinds of stuff back in the day when I was a little kid, but we would walk through here and I loved it. And now it's so funny that my office is here. My mom grew up right down the street from here. She and my aunt, they were Ripple Rockets. I'm a Ripple Rocket. That's the Broad Ripple High School song. Now Broad Ripple High School is like a magnet school. Are they doing this in your town where they like every school they're like changing and they're closing down public schools and they're making them into magnet schools and charter schools and all this kind of stuff? Listen, as somebody that has gone through the process of building charter schools, I think charter schools are the end of our country, and I don't really care what anybody says about that. I worked in helping build charter schools, the Sobriety High School, and I am parked so far away. This is ridiculous. I am not happy about this at all. Okay, well, I'll see you guys later. Hello. We are going to our friends, Aaron and Eric's wedding reception.
We just left on 71st.
Did you say or left on 71st?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't my husband look so nice today? Show your new glasses that you got, your sunglasses. He's so tan. You're so tan. How was your day?
Good.
You get a lot of work done today?
Yes.
My lord, this lady in front of us is going 2 miles an hour. It's 80 degrees outside, can you believe it? It was like pouring down rain earlier. Have you talked to our mom this week?
I saw her Wednesday when she came in for her checkup.
How's she doing?
It's good.
really try to go over there and maybe see your family a little bit more.
Yeah, it's Carlos's birthday today.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
Are they doing something for it?
No, he's in Michigan playing baseball.
This is actually an old guy in front of us. He's probably about 90, which is the average age of our neighborhood. And every day that I go to the post office, there's this guy, and he's like 90 years old. And he always is checking his P.O. box. And he's like 5'1", and he wears these real high-waisted pants. He's real sweet-looking old man. And today, I was like, he never says hi, though. I'm always like, hey, how are you? He never says anything back to me. And today, he was like covering up all these things he got. I thought he has a P.O. box because he is getting porno mags straight up at the post office.
Was it?
I don't know. I couldn't see it. So he was like covering it so you couldn't see it.
Maybe he doesn't like the gays and he thinks that like you're just gonna damn him to hell for
Who wouldn't like me? I'm wonderful.
like you're gay.
I think the older you get, people like I feel like the older people get, like they don't really give a shit about that stuff. True? False? I don't know. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about that? Like your grandma didn't care.
Well, no, she doesn't.
I can tell she doesn't care.
I didn't say she did, or that didn't imply that.
And how old is your grandma? 87?
But there's a difference between someone who's old, who has like learned to accept that because she has like family members that are gay, than people who have no connections to gay people. And
That's true. I remember when I wanted to come out to my grandma before she passed away. She was like 93. Turn right.
mm-hmm.
And she was like 93 when she passed away. So this would have been when she was like 91. And my dad was like, are you going to ever tell grandma that you're gay? And I was like, I don't know that I feel like I need to have that sit-down conversation with her. I don't see her on a regular basis, right? And he goes, well, what's your fear? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how she's going to respond. And my dad goes, do you think that grandma in her 90 years of being alive has never met another gay person?
This is already there.
Is that what she just texted us?
I told her that we were on our way. Left in 60 seconds.
Gotcha. I kind of know where they live because Caroline and my Aunt Kathy and Uncle Dave belonged to that club over there when I was growing up. We used to go swimming there in the summers.
I don't know where we're going.
We used to dive off the diving board and everything, and then we would have nachos for lunch and hot dogs. Did you ever go to the swimming pool and have nachos and hot dogs when you were younger? You did?
No.
Does Carmel have a city pool?
Carmel does not.
Carmel doesn't have a city pool? That's crazy, isn't it?
No, I mean, you either had a pool yourself or you're a complex at a pool.
I love city pools. They're like ice cold. They're like $4 to get into. Oh, we went a couple years ago with Tony. Remember that? That was fun. We should do that again. And it's like just high enough that you have to kind of bounce when you're in it. He thinks I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
I was telling him that when he puts his lotion on in the bathroom, he has to dance to it like this. He goes, well, you didn't dance when you put your lotion on. I go, no, I have to dance when I do my blow dryer with my hair. He's like looking at me like I'm an idiot. You think I'm an idiot?
Sometimes.
But I'm really sexy, aren't I? Somebody call that a farmer's market. I call that a tent with some tomatoes. It's a trick. I haven't been to Taylor's Bakery in forever. Never come over here. But right here, I want to look and see. This is where, what's her face? Oh no.
Danielle Salette?
No, Danielle told me that right over where, she said by Taylor's Bakery. It's in there. No? I guess it must be like where Peak Performance is over here. She said there's this place to go eat for brunch, and it says diner, and guess what it's called? Good Judy's.
Peter Monn.
No, she said it's called Good Judy's. I know where we're going. We have to cross Bedford. She said it's like the best. They have like the best sausage and biscuits in the world, and it's called Good Judy's. Can you even imagine? Could you even imagine?
Could you even?
Did you go there?
No.
To Eastwood? You went to Westline.
I went to Westline.
Isn't that so funny that we're like right around where you grew up?
Well, I grew up the other way.
Yeah, but still.
Like 86
But still.
Not even close.
Just listen. we're almost there, and I don't want to give away my friend's address, so I'm going to get off here. Could somebody tell me what they thought was funny about how Tanya and I say cement the other day? How do you say cement?
Cement?
You say cement? Do we say cement?
Like, yeah.
Cement floor. Is that funny?
It's very, Midwest.
Well, I am, though. Oh my God, do you see the sign? It says Just Judy's. Do you see it?
No.
You can't see it, it's covered by that tree right now. But see where the top one says something brewery, and then underneath it, it says to the left, Just Judy's. Just Judy's. I'm going there this week. If there was an accident, that's sad. All right, could you say goodbye to all the people? He always throws up deuces. Is it a peace sign or deuces?
Peace.
Okay, peace. Bye. Hello. So, we went to our friends. Well, you saw us on our way to our friend's thing. And then afterwards, Alex went with Melissa's husband, Jason, downtown to go out to our friend. Our friend owns a bar downtown. And so, all the husbands went out. I did not feel like going out. I mean, it was really just kind of those guys. They're all friends. And I was like, I don't feel like it tonight. I totally screwed up my nail. I'm really kind of weird about my nails. So anyway, it's like 4 o'clock and I think they're still downtown because they are doing after hours. That's why I didn't want to go, because I knew it would be a late night because our friend owns the bar, so they'll have it open all night long. But anyway, so I went home and I took the doggies out and I changed and threw on my sweatshirt. I was gonna go over to Tanya's and sit out on the patio for a little bit, but I just kind of didn't feel like it. My friend Lori was calling me and texting me, and she's like, go to the casino, go to the casino. And I hadn't been to the casino in several weeks. I was like, okay, I guess I'll go to the casino. So I took $140 and I walked out with 80, so that's not bad for a night out on the town or at the casino. I was there for like 4 hours, something like that, 4.5 hours. I'm just kind of bored of the casino. Like, I hadn't been in like 2.5 weeks, and I kind of was like, oh, I want to go to be fun, but then I'm like, I talk myself out of it and I listen to my audiobook or something. Like, I haven't really wanted to go a whole lot lately, and I was even telling Lori that. I was like, I'm kind of bored of coming. And she was doing this thing that was so funny. It was like, she was like taking a coin and she was like tapping it on the, I go, what are you tapping on the, I keep on belching. I was like, what are you tapping on the machine? She was like, good luck, good luck. I was like, it's not working, honey. She lost all her money. And I was like 20 down, and I was like, I should just walk out right now. She's like, it looks like it's gonna hit. And I was like, okay. And she was just sitting there talking to me. She was out of money. So I was like, well, I'll just keep on playing another 20 until Alex texts me and says he's on his way home. So that's what I did. I'm tired. I'm gonna listen to my audiobook here in a second. It was a good night. And I was looking at, earlier before I came, this sweatshirt is driving me nuts. We're having a date day tomorrow. And so before I came up here, I was looking at, like, I wanted to go to a museum tomorrow and then eat somewhere fun. And, so I looked at all these places. Like, I looked at the Indianapolis Museum of Art, which I used to go to a lot when I was younger. And it's open from like 12 to 5. And we had said that we would start our date at 2. And I was like, by the time we get there, it's going to be 3. It's 2 hours. I mean, it's huge museum. And you have to pay like $20 a person to go. So I was like, no, I don't think that's happening. And then the zoo is even more expensive. So I was like, forget it, we're not going to the zoo tomorrow. And then I thought about going to putt golf, putt for the fun of it. But it's like, I can't tell if it's going to rain or not tomorrow. And the grass is still like really wet. And this place I want to go is called Rustic Gardens. And it's like, the golfing is like, the miniature golf is like made out of like the lawn. So like a actual like, you know, golf course. So it'll be like soaking wet. I don't want to go miniature golfing in that. So I was like, why don't we just go see a movie and go out to eat lunch somewhere fun? So I'm gonna take Alex to this restaurant we've never been before that has crepes. And I think we'll try that. And then, because it's my turn to plan the date. I was like gonna stop and get something to eat, but it looks like they closed down whatever, that White Castle or whatever there. But I wasn't really going to. I was thinking if I did it, I would do it in Indianapolis. Oh my God, the Waffle House is packed. There's literally like 20 cars there. I love the Waffle House. Do you guys like the Waffle House? Oh my God, get a peanut butter waffle if you ever go in there. They literally just put peanut butter chips on top of it. It's so good. I just hit a major pothole. Did you hear that? And their hash browns are so good at the Waffle House, and it's so cheap. It's like one of the cheapest places ever to eat. So yeah, so I think we're gonna go see a movie, and I really want to see the Guardians of the Galaxy 2. But I was like watching movie trailers because I want to plan this whole thing for tomorrow, and I was like so excited because I read this book last year by Herman Koch called The Dinner. Fantastic book. Okay, I mean, it's paced, it's a little slow in its pacing because it's done like different courses of a meal, and it was originally written in German, I think, and then they translated it. It is a phenomenal book. It is like so suspenseful and so kind of like freaky about what the story's about. It's these two sets of parents that get together for dinner to discuss something that their children, like their two sons, did. I just can't even tell you. Like, so many people did not like this book, and I absolutely gave it 5 stars out of 5. I thought it was fantastic. I went on and on and on. I did a review about it. I, like, loved this book. I thought it was so good. I read it last summer, I think, right before BookTube-a-thon. BookTube-a-thon's a big, like, readathon that they do for BookTube. And it's like on the 24th of July through like the 31st. I'm going to talk about this for a second about BookTube. So somebody the other day commented on my video, and I actually thought it was a good point that they brought it up. And she said that she'd been watching my BookTube channel and that she did not realize that BookTube wasn't just like a channel, that she thought BookTube was like a collab channel. I couldn't really understand what she meant, but like a collab channel, or it was like a channel like where people like these got up there and did videos about BookTube. BookTube is like a community on YouTube where anybody can start a channel and talk exclusively about books. You don't have to. Like, a lot of people talk about a lot of different things on there. They do hauls and all kinds of stuff. But primarily what you do is you do book reviews, lists of books, specific tag videos like the newbie booktuber tag, just about books. Or there's also AuthorTube for people that are writers, which I just recently discovered, where people get on there and talk about what they're writing and like their writing strategies. And I did a whole series last year on how to write a book because so many people asked me that. So I talked just kind of like how I started to write. But typically people do book hauls. They'll do like their TBR, their to be read for the month. They'll do monthly updates, weekly updates. They review books. Book reviews notoriously do not get lots of views on BookTube. And lots of tag videos, and that's a lot of what it is. And then a lot of discussion videos too. Like, I did a discussion video recently on there. I used to do this like rambling book video. When I started on BookTube, I actually would put up 2 videos a day. Of course, everybody over there was like, I cannot believe you put up 2 videos a day. I was like, well, I love books. I just did a scavenger hunt on there. If you guys want to have a lot of fun and try something totally different, that's totally free at your local library, bookstore, whatever. I did a book on my BookTube. Okay, so my BookTube channel, Peter Likes Books, is listed below. It's very sweet, very innocent. And it's basically just like this, but I'm talking about books. People are driving I was gonna say hella fast, really fast. I don't say hella anything, so I don't need to say that. But anyway, I did this whole scavenger hunt on there that you can do in your library that's supposed to lead you to the book, the book that the universe is telling you that you're supposed to read next. And I was so excited I put it together and it actually worked. And I was like, yes. And it actually led me to a book that like the universe would tell me to read, which was so funny that that's what it came. I was like, oh my God, this is hilarious, right? I have to pay $6.50 in overdue library fees. It just drives me crazy because that's the price of a book. And I'm like, and they're 2 like writing books too. They're not even like enjoyable fiction books. And it's my fault because you can like you can renew them online, and I didn't get online to renew them, and I'm so mad at myself. But whatever, that just goes to buy new books for the library, so it's cool. It's all cool, you know. But for the fun of it. But I love BookTube, and I love everything about it, and I have like all my favorite BookTubers that are like celebrities to me, and if I ever ran into them, I'd be like, oh my God. And it's funny like who people like, because there's like 4 or 5 people that are BookTubers that are like, have like Christine, and her channel is, and she's absolutely adorable, and her channel is called Poland Banana Books, and she has like almost 400,000 subscribers, which is like huge for BookTube. But like people don't really care how many subscribers somebody has on BookTube. Like even somebody that has like 100 subscribers, like their voice is important, which I think is so cool that there's a place on YouTube that like subscriber count and viewer count doesn't really matter. Like anybody can do a video. I love that, right? And be part of that community and go to book conventions and participate in the readathons. The readathons, oh my God, the readathons are so much fun. And this is mostly by like people that are college kids or high school kids, and they put together these readathons where like there will be 7 books for a week. Like, okay, so it'll be, you have to read 7 books in a week, which is totally fun anyway, because you have to like totally challenge yourself to find all this time, and then you have to get snacks for the books, right? Of course. And then they do sprints on Twitter where they'll say like, for the next 20 minutes we're going to see how much we can read, and then they'll say, okay, how much did you read, and tell me, describe what you read, all in emojis. It's really fun and interactive. That's BookTubeathon is my favorite, actually. This last year I did it for the first time, and I felt so corny, you know, because I'm 44 years old, and I planned out my books so deliberately. I'll tell you about that in a second, but you know, I was so excited about it, and Alex was so sweet. He was like, oh my God, has BookTubeathon started yet? And all my friends were asking me. And then like the first night, it started at like midnight on a Sunday night, and it was in July, so I always sat outside and read, and I was like sitting out there with my cup of coffee. I was like, literally, like, I could start crying kind of thinking about this. Like I was so ready to start it, like at midnight, and like literally at 5 till midnight, this is where I have like never felt like I fit in. Literally at like 5 till midnight, I was like, what is wrong with you? Like your friends want to like go out and be seen and do all this kind of stuff, and like, I don't know why this is making me sad, but I was like, but you're like excited to sit here and like read these books, you know, like, and I kind of felt like such a loser. And then like I started participating in it, and I started meeting all these people just through BookTube, and I was BookTubeathon, and I was like, this is like really a cool thing. And I think that's what's been so wonderful about BookTube, is that I've met so many people that like I really feel like for once in my life I kind of fit in a little bit, you know, like when you finally find your tribe of people that like talk about books and stuff. Because I hadn't before, you know. But I had that moment. I was like, you just went and bought all these like treats and coffee and all these special drinks to have, like. So what I did was, Peter, you cry about everything. So what I did was, okay, so there were 7 books, and like there's challenges, and the challenges are like pick a book with a yellow cover. So for that I picked Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, and then it was like pick a scary book that you'll only read after midnight, and for that I picked Jaws and by Peter Benchley. And then there was like pick a book by a favorite author that you've never read before, and I picked Rising Sun by Michael Crichton, which I recently just finished. That was 3. And then I was like, but anyway, I can't remember what all of them were. Someone about the girl whose family dies in the car accident and she's in the coma. It all takes place in literally the first 5 pages by Gail Forman. If I Leave. I think I read that one. It was like a book that you had found through BookTube. Everybody was talking about that book at the time. And then I picked... Oh, shoot. What's that book? About the gay guy. It's so good. It was written in like the 60s, I think. Why can't I think of it? A Single Man by Chris Isherwood. So good. But what I did was I picked all books that had been made into movies. And so like I wanted to make it even like a bigger deal for me. I had such a fun time doing that because then I wanted to watch all the movies afterwards. And we actually did watch A Single Man, and that was really good. And I had seen Jaws, of course. But the book Jaws, so much different than the movie. So much scarier than the movie. So much more intricate. There are romances and all kinds of stuff that happens. There's the mobs, politics, all kinds of stuff that happens in the book that you don't ever see any part of in the movie. That book was so good. And I actually really liked If I Leave by Gail Forman, if that's what it's called. I really liked that. If I Leave, or If I Stay, maybe it's called. And then the second one's If I Leave. I have the second one. I haven't read it. What else did I read for that? I read something really small. Oh, I read Brokeback Mountain by Annie Proulx because I had never read that before. Oh my God, that was so beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And that's what a lot of people do, is they pick like really, really short books sometimes. And the Brokeback Mountain is like literally like 40 pages or 50 pages. It's really small. My mom had given it to me because it was one of my mom's favorite movies. If you want to read like a novella, oh, that was what it was. Read a novella or read something under 100 pages or something like that. And my mother had given it Brokeback Mountain to me like years before, and I had never read it. I was floored by that book. And then there was, I think, read a graphic novel, and I can't remember what I read for that. No, that wasn't for BookTube-a-thon. What else did I read? Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, hated it. Thought it was horrible. I really hated it. Really, really hated it, and couldn't even make it through 10 minutes of the movie. Okay, The Duff was not part of that because I ended up watching The Duff with Alex later. I thought the movie was really cute. I wish I had read the book. I heard the book was fantastic. Brokeback Mountain, Rising Sun, Jaws, A Single Man, 5. And then I think it was just like pick 2 more, and I don't remember what I picked. I had originally picked The Green Mile by Stephen King, and it was like 7 different books or 6 different books, but I ended up not reading that because it was so long, and I ended up like trading it out for something else. I can't remember what I traded it out for though. I should go back and watch what I picked to read for that week. That was so much fun. I cannot wait. Ariel Bassett, who is this booktuber that I absolutely love, she puts it together every year. And she comes up with the challenges. And then, like every day, there are bigger challenges that you have to do. And they also include Bookstagram, which is like all Instagram accounts just for books. And book bloggers, who are bloggers that just write about books. And even though you don't really realize it, do you remember that scene? I didn't realize this until I got on BookTube, but it's the absolute truth, and if people want to fight me on it, it's whatever, it's the truth. But do you remember that scene in Devil Wears Prada, where Anne Hathaway says something about that blue sweater, and Meryl Streep goes, blue? Do you mean Sterling, or whatever she says, and the name of that blue is? And she was like, you don't realize it, but somebody picks this out for it to be a runway, blah, blah, blah. And she goes through the whole thing about how that specific color of blue was picked just for her. Do you guys remember that? Okay, like, booktubers, bookstagrammers, and book bloggers define what books are going to make it on the shelf and people are going to buy. Because we're the ones that are talking about the books, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. And it's so interesting because I get contacted by so many publishers that basically want, and I am not a big booktuber by any means, so I can't imagine that the bigger booktubers that basically want to kiss our asses so that we will talk about their books. And it's so crazy funny to me. And then I get like a lot, I mean, and listen, I love every bit of it because I love books. And for me, it's just so cool to be part of that world. But I actually get contacted a lot by independent writers too that are like, they independently publish, you know, like through Amazon and things like that, and they're self-published. And one thing I never understand is like a lot of people just like send me a book. Like it makes no sense to me. They just send me a book. Like no like written note. They don't sign the book. They don't anything. They just send me the book. And I don't like that doesn't I don't get it, right? And the other day I got this book in the mail and I saw the cover of it because I think typically that self-published books, like their covers are shit. Okay, I'm sorry, I just do. I don't think they're good. And so this woman sent me this book. Well, I didn't know it was a woman at the time, right? I didn't even think there was a letter or anything in it. And I opened the envelope, and it was like just stock letter, you know, like stock like mail, like from Amazon. I think she just like sent it to me through Amazon. And I talk a lot about horror novels because I like horror novels. And I looked in there, and there was like no note, and I like opened it, and like I didn't open it, and I was like, I can't. Why do these people send me these books with no note in it, right? I wish I knew the name of this book, and I'll give it a little shout out right now. Oh, that was, somebody hit a deer. It was like just recent too. So anyway, I'm reading, I open it, and like 2 days after that, it was like sitting there, and I was like, oh my God, there's a letter in there. So I opened it, and there was like a typewritten letter that she had sent, and it was like very nice, and she was like, you know, like, oh, hey, and this is what I write, and this is what my book is about. But it wasn't just that. And she's like, I really believe in the old, like, horror novels of, like, the 70s will make a return, and that's what I love to write. She got me so interested in her book. I was like, this is how you market a book right here. This is how you market a book. I was so, like, excited when I read this letter, and I thought, this is genius, you know? And of all the books that people have sent me, I thought, this is going to be the one that I'm going to read. Well, I will tell you also, Husband and Husband, you guys watch that channel? I can't remember which one it is, but I think it's, I don't even know if I know their names by heart. That's so horrible, isn't it? And I watch them, like, all the time. Nathan, I think is his name? I'm probably wrong, but anyway, one of them is a cartoonist and the other one's a writer. And the one that wrote a book, he wrote like a gay spin-off of Peter Pan, and it has been sitting on my counter now for a good 6 months, and I have been meaning to read this book because it looks so fantastic. It's called something Waverly Manor or something like that. Not Waverly Manor because that's another book, but like it looks really good. But I get sent so many books, you guys, and then I buy books on top of it, and I just can't keep up with it. The thing that's interesting to me is that when people send me books and they're like, this is my favorite book, and they send it to me, I typically read it right away. Because that's like a friend handing me a book. And people are always like, I want to send you something, but I don't know what to send you, and I don't have a lot of money. And I'm like, you don't have to send me anything. Send me a postcard and write on it what your favorite book is, and I'll go check it out from the library, and it won't cost either one of us any money except for a stamp, you know? Or email me. I just like having contact with you guys. I think it's so cool. So anyway, yeah, I'm really excited about that because there's a lot of readathons in the summer. There's like the emoji-a-thon, which is you pick a book for each emoji that they like give you, and then that's in June. Did I read a zombie book? I feel like I read a zombie book as well for BookTube-a-thon, but maybe not. That's in June, and then BookTube-a-thon is in July, and then at the end of July, and then there's also a 24-hour thing. I just got the notification for that the other day. Katrina, who the little book out, I think she's in Australia. She like has a blog where she like lists. She also is a huge YouTuber, huge and gorgeous, and I love her. And she's been so sweet to me. But like she has a book blog as well where she like has a list of like all of the readathons. If you guys want to do a readathon, you know, contact me through Twitter or email and say, hey Peter, I want to do a readathon. Can you tell me which readathon's the best and how to do it? And I'll tell you. And really all you do is you just go watch the person that puts it together. They'll put out a video and say like, this is BookTube-a-thon. It starts, and they give you the rules and they give you all this, and it's really nothing more than you just kind of participate in it from home. I mean, you can do it. You can participate in Twitter if you want, but you don't have to. You could just read the books and do the things, and it's really fun. I mean, it's really fun. You feel like part of something bigger than you, and it's reading books. And listen, you don't have to read great literature. You don't have to read YA. I know so many people have done it that read like all James Patterson books or something, you know? Like, you can do whatever you want. And that's what's really fun about it. And really the whole idea behind it is just to read more, you know? And for a lot of us, we set these unrealistic Goodreads challenges for the year. Like, how many books are you going to read? And I think I set mine at 100, and I'm like at 14 right now. I need to get with the program. And I need to get reading is what I need to do. And then, so that will be like, I didn't come close to 7 books last year. I think I read 4. But that's good, you know, so 4 books in a week. That's like, you know, it shows you what you can do, and then it pushes you. Guys are like, this is the most boring vlog in the entire world. Well, it's part of who I am, because I love to read. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that my life is so boring. But it really, I don't know who I would be if it wasn't for books. But books have shaped my life, absolutely. I did a book on my BookTube. I did a video on my BookTube channel. You guys should go check it out. It's called like The Power of a Book, and I talked all about To Kill a Mockingbird in there. And I read 3 different quotes that are my favorite quotes. I literally bawled through this entire video that I made for BookTube. I know, hard to believe that I cried in a video, but I bawled my eyes out through the whole thing because I would not be who I am today had I never been introduced in 6th grade to the book To Kill a Mockingbird, as well as the movie. The movie has shaped me really, like, as well. And you know, that's a pretty powerful thing, to think that somebody sitting down at a typewriter or with a pen has the power to change somebody's thinking at 6th grade all the way for the rest of their life, you know? And that's the case with me. That's what happened. And it's very cool. I love it, you know? I love that book. I also love the book they just put out, Go Set a Watchman. They found that she had written, you know, many, many years ago, supposedly To Kill a Mockingbird is from, but a lot of people don't like it because they say that Atticus was racist in it. It's not necessarily my take. I actually did a whole video on it on my BookTube channel, and before you want to argue with me about that, go watch my review. But I do think that the one thing about Harper Lee is that you have to remember the era that she was writing in, and I'm not excusing anything, but and what she was trying to achieve through those books, you know. And I think for one writer to single-handedly change, you know, she was not responsible for civil rights, obviously, but to be in a huge impact in a way to how we look at treating people in the world, you know, that's with your words. I think that we see in social media today what the negativity of words can do, but we don't see what the positivity of words can do much anymore. And, you know, there's some great literature out there. There's some great movies out there. There's some great songs out there, if you want to look at it all from a pop culture point of view, that change the world in a positive way. And I would rather be part of that than changing the world in a negative way with hateful, mean words, you know. It's part of why I really can't get behind some of people's comments on YouTube videos and things like. I don't understand it. It saddens my heart, really, for them, not for me. Because I think you have to be in a pretty ugly place to leave that kind of hatred on somebody else's stuff, you know, or even put that out there in the world. I don't care if you have a fake picture attached to it. You're typing it out. You're putting it out into the world, and I don't know what kind of people do that. Like, it makes me sad for them, you know, that they must be pretty miserable that they feel like they need to put that out there. But I can only be responsible for what I put out in the world, and I would prefer to put positivity out in the world, you know. And I think that probably most of the people that watch my videos feel very similar to that, you know. And I think that's probably why, to some degree, we're drawn together, and you guys can sense that in who I am as a person, and you're probably very similar to that and like to put out positivity. I would hope, you know. I've drank so much water today. A little side note. Anyway, I'm just looking at my thing and I just realized that my battery is completely dead. So before this shuts off, I'm going to say good night and I love you, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. Talk to you later. Bye.